2024 was quite a year for the Immersive Sims. Mainly the indies, but we did get a AAA just out of nowhere, and I'm frankly excited for all of it. Now, I'm not kidding. There are a lot of Immersive Sims that came out last year that we need to round up and go over. So much so that we're gonna try something a little different, or perhaps something that I just haven't done in a while. Let's get weird with it. Please bear with terminally silly live-action Charl. He has not done a video like this since mid-2022. Hello and welcome back. Some of you that have been here for a long time might recognize this format. You might even recognize the old getup back there, which ironically, this one is too big on me because I finally started to lose the weight, but that one is still just a little too small. Am I even pointing at the right thing? Whatever. But there have been so many Immersive Sims this year that I frankly, due to many reasons, had to not immediately cover that this is the best format for showcasing them all because there's a lot here. There is a lot, and with all the stuff that's going on, like the only reason I started filming now is because back there, like where I've got all my hats and stuff and my Transformers, that was full of aprons. I finally got done sending the last of the international aprons the Monday I started filming this, just because there were so many of them and so much stuff was going on. Speaking of Halloween in July, this year's theme will be aliens, which I've already got a bunch of games lined up, but if you got any spooky games for me about aliens invading, I'm all ears. And let's see. Yeah, this card's done. Okay, so before we get into the major games and releases of 2024, we have to bring up how the industry got, I think embraced is a good word for that. Unfortunately, what we were kind of feeling hopeful about with a company formerly known as the Embracer'd Group, or I don't know if they're currently known as the Embracer'd Group. I know there was some sort of shuffling around of papers after a lot of stuff didn't go this way. Bought up a bunch of IPs to a bunch of games that a lot of people were rather upset, myself included, that the current companies were just sort of sitting on the IPs without doing anything to them. But then it turns out Embracer spent way too much money, a bunch of stuff. I think this was actually the beginning of the insane games industry layoff of 2024, is we lost a bunch of stuff because Embracer Group could not handle itself or whatever the hell was going on. Unfortunately, this means that rumors were true. The moment Eidos Montreal was under the Embracer wing, they started up on a Deus Ex game. That has been canned, along with layoffs. It allegedly was not going to be about Adam Jensen, but it was set in the Deus Ex universe and was a Deus Ex game. And yeah, unfortunately, Eidos, among many, was victim to the mass layoffs of Embracer Group. And then we also had a little implosion in 3D Realms, which I believe was also another Embracer one. That boils down to whatever happened with Graven. One of my favorite Civvy videos is the video where he goes over everything that was going on in 3D Realms, including Graven. So now I don't have to talk about that game. I can just redirect you all to Civvy 11's I think it was called the 3D Realms Vibe Check, but the chapter is called I Spit on Your Graven. So thank you, Civvy. Really, unironically, thank you. I don't have to talk about that now because that was a big disappointment, as Graven initially looked like it was going to be a little more of a faster paced immersive sim, but it turned out to be whatever that was. And then Corticay, that was up in the air for a while. To my knowledge, it is still being worked on. I don't know what happened between, I believe the developer is, his name escapes me, but I know that blog posts have been made showing that yes, we're still working on things, but I think the scope of development is significantly scaled down because it's no longer being backed by a company. I don't know what's happening. It's very much one of the games that I have to admit, it doesn't really follow the 3 strikes rule of delays because there were never any delays in the first place. but it was very much a scenario where I have to admit I'm not expecting it anytime soon. And, oh, thank God, that is the last of the bad news. Because while the beginning of this year started very poorly for Immersive Sims and just gaming at large, overall it has been a phenomenal year. We have had a lot of good stuff happen. We had a lot of good stuff come out. This is, geez, I've got like 20 note cards here to go off for various topics because, well, yeah, a lot of people love to bellyache and obsess of doom and gloom. Just looking at everything here, we have a lot going on. The first of which was early in the year, a game called Ad Infernum was released. If you don't remember that, I did that right in the beginning of the year. Ad Infernum is a much smaller scale immersive sim. There's like 3 major areas in the whole game. It's a lot of creativity. It's a lot of horror in a sense where you're hiding from a big bad while also taking out smaller bads. And it has a very much a sort of occult theme as the player character is stranded in a gas station where somebody was trying to summon something. And that's, wow, we're moving fast. Then another game came out right after that, which I still have not had time to get to. But the sequel to Imprisoned Hyperion, Imprisoned Hyperion 2 came out. And now I've got to do both games. That is just a good problem to have for me. But it's on my to-do list, I promise you. And it will be, I think I'll do a double feature because these are smaller games. It's very much like an underground dungeon crawl type deal, but I will be getting to them. Then we had, well, I didn't cover it until late in October, Sonar Shock came out. And while I do have my complaints about Sonar Shock, primarily, I can't stop saying Sonar Shark. It's Sonar Shock, like the System Shock. Boy. You know what's nice about this new office? When I don't have like a table here to be like signing cards and like packing aprons, I have enough space to where I can just do this all I want. I don't do it much because I get sick. But it's nice to finally have enough room to stretch out. Where were we? Right, Sonar Shock. It came out earlier in the year. I want to say April, May, but I don't know if that's right. I'll need to put up the date here. Sorry, still learning about camera. By the way, if this camera setup looks like ass, I assure you it is temporary. I'm just really figuring out how I want to do things because expanding into Twitch is a potential goal I have for this year. Speaking of potential goals, one of my New Year's resolutions is that every month of this year, we're getting an Immersive Sim video. And based on the ones I've got here and the ones coming up this year, that's not going to be hard. But it's very Shock-like. It is very much, if you play the original System Shock or Enhanced Edition, it is right up that alley. Unfortunately, I do admit there are some balance issues, and it does have a very bad memory leak problem, which the developer is actively trying to address. There have been like patches since people started reporting that memory issue. So it's not like they're just abandoning it. It's just hiccups of game development. Oh yeah, back in June, Fallen Aces finally went into early access instead of just being a demo, and yeah, I own it, but I forgot about it. I even forgot to put it in this video, so I'm making another addendum. Yeah, there was a lot this year, and sometimes it's easy to lose track of it all. Then, Corpus Edax came out with a, oh gee, did I? Because Corpus Edax was like late September this year. Like, wow, we just had a bunch of stuff early in the year and then like right towards the end. But where are we going with this? Right, Corpus Edax finally came out. That was a game that we helped get funded. And I'll admit, it did not come out in a very good state. It was pushed to as far back as it could have been pushed. It was certainly jank on release, but my goodness, I'm pretty sure that since I downloaded that game, in the year 2024, Corpus Edax had more patches in it than all the other games I had on my Steam combined. Epic McDude has been hustling so hard. You can actively see on his Blue Sky, and I believe still his Twitter, by the way. I am now on Blue Sky, just because it's a nice place to be right now. And you can see constant updates, constant new features. Really just now that the game is out and they got that cash injection, they have the time to develop more and make the dream come true. It's still like very rough. I've already gone over this. Check. Yeah. It's rough, but it is being continually polished as we speak. I wouldn't be surprised if I see yet another update for Corpus Edex next time I like tell Steam, hey, check my updates. And then after that, I know this is kind of a joke. I know this started as an April Fool's joke video for me, but you know what? I'll die on this hill. Hard Time is an immersive sim. And Hard Time 3 came out, and it is everything I wanted it to be. M. Dickey has done it again. I am so happy. We got Old School the year before. We finally got a Hard Time 3, which admittedly, you'll notice that Hard Time 3 uses a lot of the same like layouts and assets as Old School, and it feels like the school was just replaced with the prison, but that's exactly what most of us wanted anyway. Like, the school setting is nice. I found the class system to be just a bit too hectic and chaotic to get anything done. But that's all some of us really wanted was give us Hard Time, except make it to where we don't have to run like, what was it, a DX Wind to get it to like get in a proper like resolution. And I don't know why M. Dickey thought this was a good idea, but there is modding and Steam Workshop support for Hard Time 3. If you're familiar with the game, it's exactly as bad as you thought it is, in the best way possible. That's another one where I know it's a joke, but I want to do something with Hard Time 3. I have a soft spot for M. Dickey games. They are delightful in their own little cursed way. And really just, the more the merrier for these immersive sims. Remember that crazy detective game when I did the funny noir voice as Frisk? That got a full release this year, and there's a ton of new features on it. New stuff like there's a city editor, better scenarios, all sorts of stuff like that. Another one I would love to revisit, as personally I have a rule where I will cover a game at most twice, once on its initial release and once on like a distant follow-up. And that's because really, if I were to cover every minuscule little update, I'd be lost in the weeds, and I don't want to become a singular game channel. Speaking of EA releases, like how we did for Shadows of Doubt, Monomyth, a game that a lot of us have been silently waiting for quite a while. Rat Tower finally got the EA out. I already have that on my Steam. I already have it ready to go. I don't know what month I'm gonna do it, but I wanna do it badly. I just gotta juggle the Halloween and July videos in advance with making videos, but I've been getting good at making these videos fast. We're going through these fast, by the way, but I'm just vibing. I've got good energy today. I forgot to put on my gloves, so sorry if you see my eczema, but that's what happens when it gets cold out. And then, oh yeah, wow, we're already at the end of the year because out of goddamn nowhere, Indiana Jones and the Golden Circle. I have the game. I've wanted to play it so bad. It's in my library. Just there's other obligations I have. First, like this video, like also is it the next card? Are these cards out of order? Wait, no, I see what I did. These are all the games that released. The final major release of this year was Indiana Jones and the Golden Circle, asterisk. And that is very much one I want to cover so badly. I know I'm going to miss the hype window. I know I already have missed the hype window, but I need to do this. I need to take care of all these things. It's a good time to be me right now. There's just so much going on, and I'm so happy for everything. And then we get to the final release. I did not accidentally get my cards out of order. Blood West got a full DLC expansion called Dead Man's Promise. That is the next video you're going to see on this channel. I actually did receive a key for it. Like, I was just so excited. I forgot about my stance on keys for a second because I'm like, oh shit, I was not expecting this. And I believe the reason this is happening is Blood West is now a joint production between Hyper Strange and New Blood. New Blood is now, if you boot up Blood West, you will see their splash on the title screens. And good for them, I guess. I'm just happy to see more Blood West. I am very happy to just play more games like that. And I am very excited. Literally, once I'm done recording this and just making sure the edit isn't garbage, I'm immediately gonna start playing it because I've been waiting to play it for a couple weeks now. I feel bad. They actually sent me the stuff a lot earlier, but because I'm more active on Blue Sky than Twitter now, I did not see their message for like several days. Well. And then for stuff that is upcoming. But right, stuff that is up and coming. Athanasia, what if dinosaurs were immersive sims? We got that funded. it's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen this year or next year, but the demo dropped earlier in the year. I got that video out later in the year, right as the Kickstarter was going on, and they did it. They have the money they need to make the game. The game is happening. We will have another Immersive Sim under our belt. We as a community, like, geez, how many have we gotten? All right, Parapedia, Corpus Edex, Sorceress, which we'll talk a bit about later, and now Athanasia. Oh, what we have helped 4 games become a reality now over the last 4 years. That's actually a pretty good track record, and I think I might be forgetting something, but this is an extremely unstructured video if you have not noticed. I am just vibing out here in the name of getting this out because I need to get a bunch of other stuff ready. I actually do need to play the Blood West and then the first game of Halloween in July, which I'll give you a hint, it's going to be a console game. Asterisk. And then this is another one I'm excited for that's arguably an immersive sim, but we have not seen enough of it. But you remember the brother Shemansky, particularly Ducky? Well, recently they put out a demo of something called Secret Agent Wizard Boy and the International Crime Consortium, or something along the lines. That's basically like a sandbox parody of those old Harry Potter PC games we all used to love. And it is the most delightfully cursed thing ever. I just love seeing more cursed things. I don't know what was in the drinking water at the Shemansky residence when they were growing up, but those lads know how to make a game. And I don't know when that is coming out, but it is something that is on my watch list. And I'm just excited again. Every one of these cards, except for maybe that one about the Embracer group that like it was rather upsetting, are a reason to be excited. Finally, I need to update this one because they just announced the thing they said. SCP Fragmented Minds, they initially said they were planning to announce their early access release soon. And thank God I dilly-dallied on this video as much as I have because I believe it is before the end of this month. I want to say January 27th or 29th. We are getting the early access release of SCP Fragmented Minds, another self-proclaimed immersive sim that I would love to get my hands on and really just bite into it. I am going to have an easy year for this. And on the other stuff that's coming out, we have, I hesitate to even say this. I know we're hitting a few speed bumps on the vibes here, but it's been confirmed that yes, the Chinese room is making Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline 2, excuse me. And they say it's coming out this year. They said that last year. They have said that every year since 2019 that, hey, it's gonna come out next year. So sorry if I'm not as excited for you or not taking you at your word. I know that the development has been, at this point, arguably more tumultuous than the development of the original game. And the one thing that the Chinese room does have to their credit is that they are actively putting up a lot of dev diaries on the Steam page. And at this point, like after the Silent Hill 2 remake, there are some cases where a studio can be scaled up to make like a proper AAA game. I just want to play it to get it over with. I don't care how good or bad it is anymore. I just want to see the product. I've talked about this several times before in previous years, ImSim and review videos, but I bought my pre-order for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodline 2 so long ago that the credit card I purchased it with is expired, so I could not refund it if I wanted it to, because the money's got nowhere to go. But I just like to see it. It's very much, I know that they essentially I don't know what the right word is for, but the end of it is that the previous studio is no longer the team of production. I can't even remember the studio. Oh, Hard Suit Labs. That I guess they're no longer involved with it as far as I can tell. And I know the Chinese room is a very story-heavy studio, and Vampire the Masquerade, even as a tabletop, is a lot more storytelling heavy than a lot more other tabletop games. So it kind of fits as long as they can keep the actual gameplay engaging enough to listen to the story. And not quite fine. Anyway, I'm going to switch these around because I want to talk about this one last. Second to last, well, I did not bother to tune into the Game Awards this year because I'm just fed up with that clown show and how it, frankly, at this point, is kind of an embarrassment to gaming as a medium. We did get a new Immersive Sim from Warren Spector. It is being made by Other Side Entertainment, though, you know, the Underworld Ascendant guys. But you know what? I saw the trailer. I decided, hey, you know what? I like the vibe. You know what? I'd be happy to have an Immersive Sim where it isn't all grim, dark, super serious, edgy and stuff, but it's like actually fun. We need more fun. We can't always be super grim, oh, the world is ending all the time. And the game, I think it's called like Thick as Thieves, Among Thieves. I really should maybe write the name of this stuff. Wait. Yeah, I really should write names down. I'm kind of just going through this, but I just want to see more of that. I'd like to see what Warren Spector is capable of in 2025 or 2026. Another thing I take issue with for the Game Awards every year is there seems to be no standard. They'll just take anyone's money to put a trailer out. And I've got games that I've wishlisted from like Game Awards in 2023, I think 2022, where the game is still like to be announced on the release date. It's like, why even spend all that money if you are nowhere near ready to go live? Because I would have forgotten about these games if not for wishlisting them immediately after seeing their debut. And you know what? Oh, I forgot to even make a card about this because this is so new. Finally, Parapedia, which I forget if we mentioned on the games we've helped fund. Oh yeah, we did, whatever. But Parapedia is finally coming out next month. They finally put out the release date. I am so hyped. I need to get in touch with Charlatan again so I can see about, okay, am I able to get this early to play this? I'm not sure if that would count as like a key for review purposes because I did pledge for the Kickstarter, so I've got my own personal keys coming. But regardless, I want to show that to you as early as possible. And that will either be the video in late February or March for your monthly Immersive Sim video. And I'm just so excited to see what the final version of that game is. And now, finally, because I don't know how to properly address this, but we do have confirmation of Pathologic 3. And while initially they said there was going to be a vertical slice demo soon, but at this point I am personally considering everything up in the air until we get some proper statements. But games that are still in development, but for whatever reason don't have a proper date yet, but are still coming along, is Gloomwood, which yes, I know there are massive updates every few months, but I'm not a fan of that style. I would rather just play it once on the initial early access and then again on the release, because I know that if I come back and play it again for every minuscule little content update, every minuscule little gameplay feature update they put out, I will be fucking sick of the game by the time it hits 1.0. And I don't want to sully my experience for the final version, so I played the initial version, I still have my footage of that, and then when it's out in 1.0, I will play it again and experience it as a whole. That is also my plan for, in case you forgot, Cyberpunk 2077 turns 5 this year. And I have made a point not to replay the game since the release so that I can see how it is after 5 years of insane patching and updates and how it is. I still have all my original footage too, so I can compare it apples to apples. But moving swiftly on, Sorceress is also in development, and actually at the end of this month, the side project that Waba Boy has been working on, Fly Knight, that RuneScape-inspired or RuneScape aesthetic-inspired like sword and sorcery game where you play as a little bug dude, that comes out at the end of this month. I might check that out. I might make a video. Really depends on how much time I have. Then we've also got Deep State by, what are they called? Frogwares? We follow each other. I should know these things. But Deep State, the game very much inspired by Deus Ex and X-Files, that is basically, it kind of feels like by aesthetic a spiritual successor to the original Deus Ex game. That is hopefully coming out this year. What else we got? Streets of Rogue 2, I think that was supposed to be out at the end of this year, but just stuff happens. And a lot of other stuff I'm forgetting, like, what is it? That disco-inspired game where you're on a spaceship. The one where they said no zombies. It's killing me. I'm trying to remember. What was it? Retro Space. That's what it is. And then there's a few others where I don't know the status of. I don't know what's presently going on with Fortune's Run. As you know, the developers are having some personal issues that they are trying to get through.
Hey, what's up? Last minute update. About 2 hours after I finished recording the whole ImSim update, we got the bomb dropped on us that apparently Fortune's Run is not happening for a long time, as the lead developer is going to prison. I make no exaggeration, like, they literally posted a major update on the Steam page, like for the developer newsfeed, that, yeah, apparently they were charged 5 years ago with something. They did not specify what, but just now they finally received their conviction, and next month they report to prison for the next 3 years. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what they are going to jail for. I don't know, like, what else is going on. I only know what's in that big post, which is essentially, yeah, the other developer who was sick and why we had to postpone previously, they have completely left the project. And the main dev, Dizzy, is going to prison. I'm literally here filming it right now because I can't be bothered to set up the whole recording thing to record myself in person again. Because stuff keeps happening. I don't know what it is, but in the last year, I have like some sort of gift of not quite prophecy, but whenever I do something, the plot moves forward. It's kind of annoying, actually.
And then there's just all sorts of stuff that, again, there's so many things going on that I can't possibly keep track of them all. I think we had yes, I did forget a card. My wrap-up card. This is an important one. We got to end this thing. It's been going on I've been yapping for half an hour straight. I'm starting to feel it in my throat, which I swear to God, I have a neck and chin somewhere under this. It's in there somewhere, and I will find it one day. But for now, I originally wrote 9 releases and 7 upcoming, but I think that's now 8 or 9 upcoming. It's been a genuinely good year for us. We have had ourselves a great time, and more great times are coming. Yes, it was pretty bumpy in the beginning, but that's just how things go. There are bumps in the road, and our path lies far beyond this. Probably by the next time I do these videos, I'll be able to fit into that one again, because I can wear that with the, there you go, you can see my thumb now. As long as I keep it unbuttoned, I can wear it, so I'm close. Anything's possible if you just work hard enough. And other than that, like I mentioned earlier, I will be starting to stream on Twitch. That's going to be early February we're starting. I still need to figure out this situation here with the camera. I need to be bothered to bring out my actual lights because right now I just have my desk lamp pointed at me and like the ceiling fan. And also I need to figure out what I'm playing. I'll admit I did initially say I was probably going to think about doing Pathologic 2 again. But between the actual nudity in the game, which I believe Twitch allows as long as you market mature content, it's a struggle even for me, the #1 hater of the word content. But you get what I mean. It has boobies in it. So that might be problematic for exposure. I'm not sure if I'm going to play that because right now just, especially taking a peek into like the various Pathologic fan groups, they're kind of having a rough time right now. And I don't want anyone to like solely an experience because like you've got raw nerves. Like I might do that later. I might go back to doing like my idea of like the Souls-a-thon where I play every game from Demon Souls PS3, which I have right over. Oh yeah, you guys have never seen this. Let me make sure before I turn my camera there's nothing here that you're not supposed to see. But yeah, I have a full capture setup with my PlayStation and everything. Wait, here we go, yeah. You can see it here. I have a full capture setup with a TV, everything ready to go. And we will be taking advantage of that because I did not bust my ass figuring out how the hell I connect the capture card to the computer from the TV to never use it. But yeah, that's gonna be a thing. And then, let's see. Like I said earlier, Halloween in July 2025, we're going to do aliens. And among the others, we're going to have Aliens Colonial Marines, because why the hell not? We're going to have Signal Simulator, we're going to have Scavenger SV4, and anything else I can think of. Like, I also have my Halloween in July production schedule a lot more improved year on year. And other things, like I will finally do the Fallout New Vegas California compliance run. It got away from me. I realized I did not do the patron voted video, and like, okay, it's either I fulfill my promise to my patrons or I do the New Vegas thing, and I'm always gonna back up the patrons. You guys make these videos possible. Let me get in frame better. And yeah, thank you all on Patreon. I might just upload this as an uncut, insane stream of consciousness for you. But that all depends on how much time I got. So, remember folks, what you do should never be called content. It is art. Whether it's skateboarding videos, whether it's drawing, whether it's painting, whether it's making music, whether it's making cute little animals out of tinfoil for like takeaway after dinner. That's not content, that is your art. It is a very reflection of you by the nature of its creation, and you do not deserve to be ground up into the gray sludge known as content. So get out there and fight for yourself by fighting against the contentification of everything, by fighting for your art. Stay saucy. Whee!
Ooh, saucy boy. It's all dark. Oh, I'm sorry. I just pushed the couch back, and now Mommy isn't in the light because we're in a hurricane. Yeah, in case you didn't know, I usually record these in advance instead of just bothering the boy whenever I need one for a video. But this guy is taking this hurricane like a champ.
Hey everyone, real quick before we go, I know I'm narrating over the cat video, but first and foremost, do not panic about the subject matter of this. This cat clip is from back in, I think, July. I've got a backlog of these. This was when I think Hurricane Helene was blowing through, and we didn't even lose power for like half a day. We got very lucky there. And for a second, I want to thank you all for bearing with me in this. This is very much an experimental type of video all over again. It was kind of a hot mess. You can see it through the lighting. You can see it through this grainy camera, which is like an old Logitech webcam that I got in the beginning of 2016. And you can kind of hear it in the audio because I personally noticed that, hey, wait a minute, these audio waveforms as I'm editing are in stereo and my normal microphone is in mono. And I'm amazed it sounds as good as it does. So I'm gonna try to get better at these. And also just, again, thank you for bearing with me. I'm just trying to be able to keep up with all those big corporate channels as little old me. Stay saucy.